Hey mommies and really supportive daddies, I guess, if you clicked on this video to watch. These are 5 tips to survive morning sickness. I am currently 6 months pregnant right now, so I was just recently there where I wanted to dry heave all of the time. Well, I guess I didn't want to. I was dry heaving all the time. So I know how it feels where you're thinking, how am I going to survive the day? Whether it's at work, at home with kids, it's probably harder than work, or just, out and about. These are ways to not honk while you're in public, or at least things that helped me. So yeah, let's just get into it. Should be pretty quick. So number 1 is phone a friend or tell someone. I know a lot of people want to keep pregnancy secret until 12 weeks, and I totally understand and support that, and I did too for the most part. But I was struggling at the 8 and 9 week mark, and I was worried that my work was going to think that I had a terminal illness because I was running out of meetings. And so I, found a confidant. My manager, I'm lucky, is really supportive and understanding, and I told her really early on. And I didn't tell my HR department or, everybody else I worked out, but at least somebody knew what was up so that there wasn't, so many broader questions about my health, or, if something was going on. And it was really nice to have her know what else was happening. So while I understand that it would be challenging or hard if you experienced a loss, it can be really helpful to have that support system in place when you're not at your best. And I think, along with your manager or your boss, or even just a friend at work, so that there's somebody there that can support you. You can also tell your family if you're at home alone, then, you're a stay-at-home mom, or a neighbor, so that if something really comes up and you just can't deal for a few minutes, you can, call somebody and they know what's happening. Because there are definitely moments, morning sickness, where people just think, oh, you throw up and you're fine. You're like, no, there are moments where you want to die and it feels like you have a flu, or a can. So I think that getting your support system dialed in, and you don't have to cast a wide net, but if you just tell 1 or 2 people so that you have somebody to call on when you really need it most, I think that's super helpful. Number 2 is to find a scent that works for you. So for me, a lot of smells were setting me off, like cooked meat. My husband's body wash, all of a sudden, couldn't stand it. He could not use that anymore. So certain scents were really bothering me. And I had a coworker who sits in the cube next to me, really nice guy. I get along with him great. All of a sudden, I could not handle the smell of his cologne. And it became very close to the point where I had to go to HR and be like, you need to tell him that this needs to be a scent-free workplace because I can't handle it. But in order to mask that, or to get over those scents that I didn't like, I started carrying an essential oil with me. So I was carrying peppermint and rubbing it on my wrists. I even got to the point where I was putting it under my nose, just so I was smelling something fresh and bright instead of, that smell that I found offensive. And if, walking around smelling your wrists just makes you think that, people wonder what's up with you mentally. They also make really great necklaces that you can buy, or bracelets that you can buy, where you can drop a couple drops of your essential oil in them, either lava stones or things that have cloth pads in them, and then you can, just get a whiff of things nonchalantly throughout the day. So that might be an option too. But yeah, I would say find a scent that works for you. Maybe it's an essential oil, maybe it's a perfume you're really into, maybe it's a lotion, and hopefully that'll help cover up anything that's less than desirable when you're not feeling great. So tip number 3 is to get a snack. I know it sounds counterintuitive. You don't want to put anything in when everything is coming up, but you'll feel so much better if you maintain a kind of full tummy. For me, I totally became one of those people that's I don't know, I feel like it was a fitness craze a few years ago where I'm eating 8 small meals instead of 3 regular meals. I was totally grazing Hobbit style all day long. And that worked for me. So instead of ever getting really hungry or being really full, I was having all these little meals and little snacks. And I always had a snack in my bag, so if I felt myself getting hungry, I could eat the snack right then. Because once I got hungry, it went from hungry to nauseous, instantly. So grab your peanut butter crackers or a granola bar. My friend was really into beef jerky when she was pregnant. Find the thing that works for you and keep a backup, in the door of your car, in your purse, in your jacket pocket, in your desk at work, because it's just so much easier to take the moment to eat the snack than to wait until things have already gone downhill. So, and sometimes you have to force yourself to do it. Just do it, rip it off like a Band-Aid. Once you get the first cracker down, it's not so bad. So, eat the snack. The next thing, tip number 4, is to stay hydrated. And again, it's so hard to do when you're not feeling well, especially for me. Like, I have anxiety about throwing up as it is, so putting more food and beverages in when I don't feel sick is really hard for my brain to handle, but you do feel better when you do it. So instead of drinking, I mean, I always have my water cup and I'd be sipping it, and I tried putting like mint leaves in it or something, so I had a light flavor that left my mouth feeling really fresh, because that helped my nausea. But I also was drinking a lot of ginger tea, and even iced ginger tea, because the ginger does help your tummy. So they also have ginger chews, but I couldn't. For some people those work great and you might want to try them, but for me the ginger chew is so intense that it would make my mouth water, and that made me not feel great. So I was drinking a lot of ginger tea. Great, people won't think anything of it if you're walking around with ginger tea, so try that. But otherwise, just, you know, get your water cup, do lots of small sips, stay hydrated. I wouldn't chug it, but you know, throughout the day, lots of little sips. And then lastly, number 5, if you can, go outside for your break, or, you know, take your kid for a walk, and just slow walk, deep breaths. I feel like just that tiny bit of exercise and that like fresh air, hopefully it's not like humid and really hot where you are while you're pregnant, can really help like bring you back. So if you have the option, even like a 5 or 10 minute walk can make you feel so much better. And then you can go sit back down and like focus again. So I was doing that at my work, you know, every break and lunch break I had, I'd just go on a little walk, sort myself out, calm down, and be good for a little bit. So try that. And then lastly, bonus tip, if these things aren't working, if you're really struggling, go talk to your doctor. There are totally options, like medical prescription options that you can take to help with your morning sickness. If you are suffering and miserable and you're scraping yourself off the bathroom floor every morning to like try and live, or night or midday, because morning sickness is all the time, go and talk to your doctor about it, because there is stuff that can help. And I know a lot of people are so worried about taking anything while they're pregnant, but if you're miserable and depressed and unhappy, that's not good for the baby either, I don't think. So I would say it's at least worth having the conversation, and you're not a failure if that's a conversation that you have to have. So go and talk to your doctor and see if there's, you know, something that might help, even if it's just something that takes the edge off so that you, like, you know, aren't suffering. And that's it. Hopefully, like most women, your morning sickness will pass and you'll feel better soon. I really hope that you do. And regardless, they say that morning sickness means you're having a healthy baby, so hopefully that's like the little silver lining around the edge of your toilet. So I hope you're feeling all right. I hope some of these things help. Love you lots. See you on the other side. Pretty soon you'll be at the halfway point and you'll be looking, laughing at those close calls of, you know, barfing in public. Anyway, hope everybody's having a good day, and I hope it's nap time where you are. Bye.